Not every plug-in hybrid plays the eco game. Some play to win, and the 2025 Ferrari SF90 XX Stradale is rewriting the rulebook, blending F1-born tech street, legal madness, and power numbers that make your jaw drop. But here's the catch: what Ferrari has done with the XX edition takes this beast into a whole new league, and trust me, you'll want to see why. From mind-bending aerodynamics to a cockpit that screams performance, this isn't just a supercar, it's a statement. And today we're diving into the machine that's got the whole car world buzzing. But before we fire up this monster, smash that subscribe button, join the crew, and let's unleash the SF90 XX Stradale together. But Ferrari has never been about remaining comfortable in its own confines. And as a result, it has drawn inspiration from two of its most extreme domains: the special version range that takes production cars to new extremes, and the XX program, where only a few highly skilled drivers drive machines not even designed for the road. What happens when these two domains meet? The Ferrari SF90 XX Stradale results a road-going creation born of track-only DNA. This special edition monster takes the already insane SF90 Stradale and turns it into something even more rare, with more than 1,000 horsepower scorching aerodynamics, doubling the downforce, and a stripped-down race-inspired cabin, constructed in only 799 units globally. It's not just a car, it's a collector's fantasy and a testament to what Ferrari becomes when it never compromises. But this is the thing about Ferrari: when everybody else is convinced that it has already reached the ultimate, Ferrari seeks another way to increase the bar. So when the SF90 Stradale shocked the world of cars with almost 1,000 horsepower, everyone believed that was it. But Ferrari is not in the business of last pages. If there is any further pushing of perfection, Ferrari will make it happen. And that quest gave rise to something simply sublime: the SF90 XX Stradale. So what makes this car so much of a phenomenon? Let's get down to brass tacks, because if you thought the regular SF90 was awe-inspiring, the XX Stradale is here to redefine your concept of power, technology, and rarity. First, the beast's beating heart. At its center is a plug-in hybrid power plant like no other, one that mated a bloodthirsty 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 with not one, not two, but three electric motors. Together, this symphony of combustion and electricity produces an incredible 1,030 PS. Yes, more than 1,000 horsepower. That number not only makes it one of the most powerful Ferraris to ever roll out of Maranello, it puts it in the four-digit power fraternity, a group of models within the world wherein only a few privileged members can match. And of course, horsepower is merely a figure. What matters most is how Ferrari transmits it. And so, the SF90 XX Stradale doesn't merely accelerate, it shoots you into another dimension. Now on to aerodynamics, for this is where Ferrari went from revolutionary to radical. The SF90 XX Stradale isn't happy being fast-looking. It's been engineered to cling to the road like a racing car. Ferrari has redesigned the back end, lengthened the silhouette into a long-tail shape, and, most boldly of all, equipped it with a fixed rear wing. That's right, a Ferrari road car with a wing, something you never usually see because it's the domain of track specials. But here's the surprise: this isn't strictly for show. The new body and rear wing together generate twice the downforce of the production SF90 Stradale. So when you're carving corners or shaving lap times, you're not just driving with power, you're driving with precision that keeps you stuck to the road. Sure, the hybrid tech is all about numbers, but it's also about response. The SF90 XX Stradale retains the same clever PHEV configuration as the regular model, but each component is more integrated, more razor-sharp. If the V8 is the fire-breathing heart, then the trio of electric motors is the flash bang of lightning. Two propel the front wheels, providing you with all-wheel drive grip, while a third lurks between the engine and gearbox. plugging every hole with electric torque. The upshot: if you bury the throttle, there's no pause, no waiting for turbos to spin up. Just instant, unrelenting shove that feels like a race car on cheat codes. And talking about race cars, this Ferrari doesn't take a thing from the XX program. It inhales and exhales it. Examine the design language. The stretched silhouette, the exaggerated vents, the cockpit cut down for weight reduction. Get in and you're met with one-piece carbon fiber bucket seats that scream motorsport. And yet, oddly, it still sports a license plate. Consider that. Something once exclusively for Ferrari's most serious track day customers has now been condensed into a road-going package. If you ever dreamed of feeling like you're driving an XX car on your morning commute, this is as close to reality as it gets. But here's the twist. Dreams such as this do not come in infinite quantity. Ferrari has capped the SF90 XX Stradale at only 799 units globally. That's right. Fewer than 800 individuals on the entire globe will ever own one. So it's not only a vehicle, it's a slice of motor history, a collector's crown jewel that will be talked about in auctions and gatherings for decades to come. If you ever thought it possible to own a vehicle that's as much an investment as it is an experience, this is it. So when you put it all together, the 1,000+ horsepower hybrid system, the double-down aerodynamics, the instant electrical response, the 20-inspired cockpit, and the limited availability that makes it nearly mythical, what you end up with is a Ferrari that doesn't merely blow past boundaries, it establishes a new category. The SF90 XX Stradale is not a car. It's evidence that even when Ferrari creates something unimaginable, there's always another level waiting to be unearthed. And that right there is the magic of the prancing horse. Because if perfection is a finish line, Ferrari will always move it forward. But if the SF90 XX Stradale is a car conceived of solely track-based DNA, what is that like once you get behind the wheel? So let's get in and see how Ferrari has envisioned the driving experience for something so extreme. As soon as you get into the cabin, you know this is no normal Ferrari. The inside doesn't whisper extravagance. It bellows racing intensity. Rather than being swaddled in comfort, you're met with one-piece carbon fiber bucket seats, molded to provide maximum support when cornering at ridiculous velocities. And still, Ferrari won't leave you to suffer. The seats, though bare, are crafted to provide driving enjoyment without depriving you of comfort on longer drives. If you've ever wondered what it feels like to sit inside a race car but still drive it on the road, this is as close as it gets. Ferrari's philosophy here was simple. Weight must be saved wherever possible. Therefore, the door panels, central tunnel, and even the floor mats were reshaped with lightweight technical fabrics and stripped-back designs. Functional areas received a generous dose of exposed carbon fiber, emphasizing both performance and style. The result is a cockpit that feels like a precision tool, created with one purpose: pure driving exhilaration. The exterior design reinforces this message. The SF90 XX Stradale inherits the SF90 Stradale's engineering, but takes it to even more extreme levels. Its fixed rear wing, combined with its long-tail shape, screams motorsport more than its looks imply. It brings real benefits in aerodynamics and cooling. If you put it side by side with its predecessor, you'd be able to notice immediately how much sharper and aggressive it stands. And that's the point. This isn't just an SF90, it's an XX car in every curve and angle. Of course, none of this would matter without the heart that powers it. The SF90 XX Stradale retains Ferrari's now signature plug-in hybrid architecture, combining a twin-turbo V8 with 3 electric motors. But Ferrari wasn't content to leave it there. The engine has been refined with a higher compression ratio and the removal of the secondary air system. Therefore, output climbs to a jaw-dropping 1,030 CV, 30 more than the already outrageous SF90 Stradale. If that sounds like just a small bump, think again, because when you're dealing with numbers this high, every extra unit of power is a step further into uncharted territory. And so, the SF90 XX Stradale doesn't just inherit Ferrari's performance legacy, it sets a new benchmark for it. But here's why the SF90 XX Stradale is more than another Ferrari. It's a watershed in the history of the brand. So if you were holding out for a moment when Ferrari dissolved the distinction between track-only madness and road-going sanity, this is it. For the first time ever, Ferrari has translated the unhinged DNA of its XX program, cars previously limited to track days only, into road-going form. That in itself makes the SF90 XX Stradale historical. It's no longer a fantasy kept under wraps for the elite. It's now a reality you can take out onto the open highway. If you've ever dreamed of flying a GT race car down city streets, Ferrari has brought that dream into metal, carbon fiber, and Itzing hybrid power. The relevance extends beyond novelty. This car combines the extreme sportiness of a track-tuned machine and the usability of a production Ferrari. Thus, it redefines the very idea of road car. Most road-going cars have compromises, speed for comfort, thrills for practicality, but the SF90 XX Stradale scorns compromise. It's a Ferrari that dares to say, you can have the rush of the track and still have the number plate. And let's not leave out its mission. The quest behind the SF90 XX Stradale wasn't only to better the SF90 Stradale, it was to produce the highest performance Ferrari road car in history. One that brings not just lap times and figures, but unadulterated, gut-busting enjoyment. If performance was the only aim, Ferrari could have rested at the production SF90. But the XX Stradale was built to ignite emotion, to give the driver the thrill of a race weekend every single time they hit the start button. Yet it retains all the cleverness of its hybrid powertrain. Therefore, you're not just harnessing power, you're commanding technology that adapts to every situation. It's proof that Ferrari can merge brutal speed with modern innovation without ever losing the soul of the prancing horse. And that is why the SF90 XX Stradale matters. It does not merely push boundaries, it redefines them. And so we come to the end of this journey with the Ferrari SF90 XX Stradale, a machine that doesn't just raise the bar, it launches it into another dimension. But here's the real question. If you had the chance, would you take this road-legal race car to the track? Or would you proudly keep it in your collection as the crown jewel of Ferrari's modern era? Whichever side you're on, one thing's for sure. Cars like this remind us why Ferrari continues to define the meaning of passion and performance. If you enjoyed this ride, don't just hit the brakes here. Smash that like button, subscribe for more adrenaline-fueled content, tap the bell so you never miss the next automotive masterpiece, and share your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, share this video with a fellow car enthusiast who needs to see the future of Ferrari today. Until next time, keep dreaming fast and driving faster.